Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be doing another, sorry I'm having to kind of rig a filming situation right now. So I'm going to be doing another Scientology from Scientologist Perspective video. It's about 5:55 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I look a little crazy, but that's okay. So let's see here. Let me pull up my stuff. Let me start off this video with trigger warning. This is a video on a religion and contains my personal views on this religion, and if you find this triggering or upsetting or any of that, you might want to click off this video and go to my regularly scheduled content, which is more beauty related and doesn't have any of those politically charged views in it, which you can find any of those videos on my channel. All of my Scientology content is in its own playlist on my channel. So if you don't like these videos, please don't watch. Please don't leave any hate comments. If you like these videos, please watch. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please ring the bell. Please leave comments on any information that you may have that I am not finding or seeing, and why is my phone being stupid. Anyway, let's get into this video. So let's go into my next headache of the day. So why is Scientology a church? Which, hell, why is it anything, is what I want to know. But the word church comes from the Greek word kairos, meaning Lord, which, if you've seen any of my other Scientology from a Scientologist Perspective videos, or if you've watched any of Leah Remini's special, there's been no definition of a God or anything. The only thing we keep hearing about is money and L. Ron Hubbard. So if those are your definition of a Lord to worship, then hey, this is the religion for you. But anyway, I digress. And the Indo-European base Kiwi to be strong, whatever, include a congregation, ecclesiastical power as distinguished from a secular, and the clerical profession, clergy. The word church is not only used by Christian organizations. There are churches 10,000 years before there were Christians, and Christianity itself was a revolt against the established church. Yes, but as I've stated in other videos, every other religion known to man, even the pagans, have a god or gods that can be defined. Every last one of them. Anyway, in modern usage, people speak the Buddhist or Muslim church, referring in general to the whole body of believers in a particular religious teaching. A church is a community of believers who hold in common a system of sanctified beliefs and religious practices by which they strive to overcome the ultimate problems of life. No. A church is a group of believers that come together to worship their God or gods and perform their religious beliefs, read their scriptures, perform their religious practices. What do y'all do? Oh yeah, I forgot. You audit each other, tell on each other, and report each other as subversive people. In the 1950s, Scientologists recognized that L. Ron Hubbard's technology and its results dealt directly with the freeing of the human spirit, and that greater spiritual awareness was routinely being achieved. There was no question in their minds that they were engaging in religious practice. Thus, in the early 50s, they resolved that a church be formed to better serve their spiritual needs. The first Church of Scientology was then incorporated in 1954. Thus, Scientology as a religion, and thus Scientology is a religion, and the use of the word church when referring to Scientology is correct. Somebody, please point me to the nearest brick wall so I can perform my own lobotomy, because no, and no. Again, you do not have a defined God. Your 8 dynamics are a jumbled mess that nobody can understand. Your religious practices are muddled at best. The only thing I see you worshiping is how you can get more money out of the people that you dupe into becoming parishioners of your church. And I don't see you making anybody better. I hear horror stories about how you're breaking apart families and how you're bankrupting people and how people are worse for wear because they became Scientologists. I don't hear how anybody is better because they were Scientologists, but I digress. Let's move on to the next section. Does Scientology have a scripture? First word, yes. The word and recorded spoken words of L. Ron Hubbard on the subject of Scientology collectively constitute the scripture of the religion. He set forth the Scientology theology and technologies in tens of millions of words, including hundreds of books, scores of films, and more than 3,000 recorded lectures. That is the entire section under Does Scientology Have Scripture? Again, it seems to me the only thing that you're worshiping is money and L. Ron Hubbard. That's it. It just seems to me like you're worshiping a man that's long since dead and money. But, okay. Okay. What is the Scientology cross? Let's keep on. It is an 8-pointed cross representing the 8 parts or dynamics of life through which each individual is striving to survive. These parts are the urge toward existence as self, as an individual, the urge to survive through creativity, including the family unit and the rearing of children, the urge to survive through a group or of individuals or as a group, the urge toward survival through all mankind as all mankind, the urge to survive as life forms and with the help of life forms such as animals, birds, insects, fish, and vegetation, the urge to survive the physical universe by the physical universe itself and with the help of the physical universe and each one of its component parts, the urge to survive as a spiritual being, or the urge for life itself to survive, the urge towards existence as infinity, also identified as the supreme being, to be able to live in harmony with respect to each of these spheres. The existence is symbolized by the Scientology cross. As a matter of interest, the cross is a symbol predates Christianity. How does it predate Christianity when this religion didn't come to be until the 1950s? Somebody tell me that. How can this predate Christianity when it didn't come into existence until the 1950s? It can't predate Christianity, just like Christianity tries to claim that it predates paganism, and paganism was here way before Christianity. So all of these religions are trying to predate each other when they can't. So stop it. Again, just constantly trying to lie to people. I mean, we've caught them in so many lies. So many lies. Okay, what is Dianetics? I gotta vape on this one before I even start. Because this seems like it's gonna be a clusterfuck. L. Ron Hubbard discovered the single source of nightmares, unreasonable fears, upsets, insecurities, and the psychosomatic illness, the reactive mind, in his book Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health. He described the reactive mind in detail and laid out a simple, practical, easily taught technology to overcome it and reach the state of clear. Dianetics is a technology. The word Dianetics is derived from the Greek dia, meaning through, and nous, mind or soul. Dianetics is further defined as what the soul is doing to the body. When the mind adversely affects the body, it is described as a psychosomatic condition. Psycho referring to mind or soul, and somatic refers to body. Thus, psychosomatic illnesses are physical illnesses caused by the soul. Okay, so they hyperlink Dianetics, the modern science of mental health. So, here we go. Dianetics, understanding the mind. The Dianetics symbol uses the Greek letter delta as the basic form. The green stripes stand for growth. The yellow stripes are for life. The 4 green stripes represent the 4 subdivisions of man's urge to survive, which are delineated in Dianetics. Dianetics, dia, Greek through, nous, Greek mind or soul. To understand exactly how Scientology is used, something should be known of the track of research L. Ron Hubbard traveled and anteceded in Scientology Dianetics. Dianetics is a methodology which can help alleviate unwanted sensations and emotions, irrational fears, and psychosomatic illnesses caused or aggravated by mental stress. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop right there. You're saying that just purely through Dianetics, you can solve everybody's mental stress. Then why do you have so many people that are Scientologists that have killed themselves? You've had several people that were Scientologists that killed themselves. So they should have been fine because they did Dianetics. Explain that to me, Scientology. Explain to me why all of these people had gone through Dianetics and still killed themselves, had passed their, oh, my brain just went dead because this is just so stupid to me, had passed their courses in Dianetics, had went through their my mind is drawing a blank because this is so stupid to me, because you're saying that you have the cure for mental illness in Dianetics. You have the cure. You have the technology that cures mental illness. But you have so many Scientologists that are killing themselves after going through this? Where's your explanation? Explain it to me. Let me in. Let me know what you're doing wrong, because you obviously are doing something wrong. Oh no, I forgot. It's not you, it's them, right? It's not Scientology, it's the person, right? Because obviously you're doing nothing wrong, even though you have all these people all over the world that have gone through this, have done these courses, have done every step you've told them to do, and are still killing themselves. Let's get back to your bullshit, shall we? Prior to 1950, prevailing scientific thought had concluded man's mind to be his brain, i.e., a collection of cells and neurons and nothing more. Not only was it considered that man's ability could not be improved, but it also was believed that with the formation of his cerebral cortex, his personality was likely irrevocably established. These theories were, however, inaccurate, and as a consequence, science was never evolved. Has never evolved a workable theory of the mind, nor a means to resolve problems of the mind. I call bullshit. And I call bullshit because I do have a degree in psychology. I have a bachelor's degree. I didn't go any further because, that's not where I wanted to go. But we have therapy. Yeah, it doesn't work all the time. Nothing works all the time. People have problems. Obviously, nothing works all the time. Your system doesn't work all the time. That's the reason why you still have people killing themselves. Nothing works all the time. Medicines don't work all the time. Therapy doesn't work all the time. Obviously, Dianetics doesn't work all the time. But you can't say that science has never evolved, because it has. It has. So you take that, you can shove it up your collective asses, because that is bull. Okay, I digress. I will calm down. Let's continue. L. Ron Hubbard changed all of that with Dianetics, the modern science of mental health. It was published in 1950. Now, okay, he didn't publish this till 1950, and then all of a sudden he had a church in 1954. Its publication in 1950 marks a watershed in the history of man's conquest for the true understanding of himself. And you can bite me. Like Scientology, Dianetics rest on basic principles, easily learned, clearly demonstrated as true, and every bit as valid today as when they were first released in the 1950s. Okay, and that is, I call crap. Okay? I call crap. Nothing, not one thing that has to do with the mind and science, and nothing. I'm going to say it again, nothing that was proven to be effective in the 1950s when it comes to science and the mind and all of that is wholly effective now as it was in the 1950s. You know why? Do you want to know why? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Even if you don't want to know, I'm still going to tell you. Because the world is not the way it was in the 1950s. In the 1950s, you could be a single income household and live a decent life. The wife could stay home and raise the children, and the husband could go out and work, and they could own their own home, and they could have the vehicle, and they could pay their bills, and they could live nicely. Nowadays, you have to have a dual income family and you still can't own your own home, and you still probably can't meet a 2-vehicle payment, and you can barely pay your bills and don't dare miss a paycheck, and there are so many other issues. In the 1950s, your kids went outside and played, and there was racial division, there was sexism openly, there were defined things that happened. You did this, you didn't do this. And there were roles that had to be played, and there were things that were done a certain way. And nowadays there's a lot of gray area, and there's a lot of things that are not that way anymore. There are also a lot more dangers in the world nowadays. Our kids are facing school shootings. There are a lot of teen pregnancies. There are a lot of drug use for children very young. My kid's in the 6th grade. When he was in the 5th grade, he had a school trip to our state capital. 5th graders got busted with vapes on the bus. When I was in 5th grade, no. And I'm not even I was a young mother. I had my kids when I was in my early 20s. So it's not like I'm that far removed from where my kid is now. And that's how far the world has changed. So you can't tell me that what happened in what he established in the 1950s is that easily and is that effective, that easily implemented nowadays and that effective. It's not. Nothing is. They've had to make so many changes to things. So don't blow smoke up my ass. Don't. In this portion of the website, you will become familiar with the basic concepts of Dianetics and how it works, the goal of Dianetics, and an understanding of the state of clear. Well, why don't we just go to that? An understanding of the state of clear. Why not? I've already got my blood pressure up this morning. Here we go, guys. The clear. The goal of Dianetics is a new state for the individual, sought throughout history but never attainable. Before Dianetics, this state is called clear. A clear is a person who no longer has his own reactive mind and therefore suffers none of the ill effects that the reactive mind can cause. The clear has no engrams, which, when re-stimulated, throw up the correctness of his capitulations by entering hidden and false data. Why does this read as brainwashing? Becoming clear strengthens a person's native individuality and creativity and does not in any way diminish these attributes. A clear is free with his emotions. He can think for himself. He can experience life unencumbered by inhibitions, reactively dictated by past engrams. Artistry, personal force, and individual character are all residual in the basic personality of the person, not the reactive mind. Clears are self-confident, happy, and generally successful in both careers and interpersonal relationships. It's highly desirable to state. It's a highly desirable state of. Okay, apparently I can't read anymore. It's a highly desirable state for any individual and is attainable by virtually anyone. In fact, thousands upon thousands of people have achieved the state of clear, a living tribute to the workability of L. Ron Hubbard's discoveries and the technology he developed. Okay, so clears are self-confident, happy, and generally successful. Let's go to this fucking hyperlink. Attributes of clear. Clear is a state that has never before been attainable in man's history. Why is that? A clear possesses attributes that are fundamental and inherent, but not always available in an uncleared state, which have not been suspected of man and are not included in past discussions of his abilities and behavior. The clear is freed from active and potential psychosomatic illness or aberration, self-determined, vigorous and persistent, unrepressed, able to perceive, recall, imagine, create, and compute at a level high above the norm. Stable mentally, free with his emotions, able to enjoy life, freer from incidents, healthier, able to reason swiftly, able to react quickly. Happiness is important, the ability to arrange life and the environments so that living can be better enjoyed, the ability to tolerate the follies of one's fellow humans, the ability to see the true factors in the situation and resolve problems of living with accuracy, the ability to accept and execute responsibilities. These things are important. These things sound like everything everybody does every fucking day. I mean, this sounds like life. You're describing life. Some days you're better at it than others. Some days I'm better at reading than others. Today just seems to be like a crappy day for me. Life is not much worth living if it cannot be enjoyed. The clear enjoys living to a very full extent. He can stand up to situations which before he was cleared would have reduced him to shambles. The ability to live well and fully enjoy the living is a gift of being cleared. Okay, that just went around in one gigantic fucking circle that makes no sense. So I'm going to end that there. Again, another shit show from www.scientology.org to you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or any further information on the topic, leave it in the comments below. I will get back to you guys as soon as possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.